Howdy everyone, this is Tricia, Texas Lady. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to be making some chicken with Mexican squash. It is pollo con calabaza. And these are the ingredients that I'll be needing for this. I am going to be using some chicken thighs. Now, you don't have to use a big package like this. These were on sale. It was 99 cents a pound, so I had to buy this big pack. So I'm going to go ahead and cook them all. But I'm probably going to maybe use 4 or 5 of these for my final dish. And in here I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, I got 10. So I'll probably use half or maybe 6 of them for my final dish and save the other bits for another plate, maybe for tomorrow, some chicken salad or something, or tacos. That'll be great. Okay, so then we're also going to need about half an onion. It depends on how, whether you like onion or not. You can use a little bit less, maybe use the whole thing if you really like it. But we're going to chop it up nice and fine. We're going to use 2 Roma tomatoes, or if you want to use 1 large regular tomato, you can. These are the tomatoes I'm going to be using. And then I'm going to be using this. This is a Mexican squash. It's called Tatuma, but everybody pretty much just calls it a Mexican squash. This is very popular in Mexican dishes with pork. So you can make puerco con calabaza, but I'm doing pollo con calabaza. So if you want to do it with pork, some little pork cutlets, little chops, brown them up, add some of this. It's delicious. It pairs really well with pork, but it also pairs really well with chicken. And since my guys won't eat pork, I will, but they won't. I'm going to do it with chicken. And I've got 4 of these because I want a nice little amount of them. And those I'm also going to chop up. So we're going to start off by getting our skillet hot. Got myself a nice huge skillet here. I'm going to turn this on. And I'm going to put it on high to get it going. I'm going to add some olive oil to my pan. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw my chicken thighs in there. So I'll be right back as soon as this gets nice and hot. All right, my skillet is hot. I'm going to add some oil, just a little bit, get it on the bottom there, coat the bottom, and I'm going to add my chicken thighs to that. And I'm going to be putting them skin down. You could remove the skin if you don't want to cook them with the skin. You could just go ahead and remove that. But just leave the bone in there because the bone does add a lot of flavor. So let me just show you real quick how easy it would be just to remove that skin off. Just like that. Leave some of that fat on there. Put it facing down. Maybe I should just go ahead and do that to all of them and just remove the skin. Gotta get your hands in there. I forgot to mention a couple of other ingredients that I had here on my counter that are going to be used in my recipe. I'm going to be using some garlic, fresh garlic cloves, and I'm going to chop them up. You can just use some garlic powder. Make sure it's just powder, not salt. Because I'm also going to be using this caldo de tomate, and this is con sabor de pollo. This is a tomato bouillon with a chicken flavor, and I'm going to be using this, and this has salt in it. That's why we don't need to add any more salt. I might add a little bit more pepper, and then I'm also going to need a little 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. You can use 2 ounces, two cans if you like. A little more sauce in there if you like, but I'm only going to use 1. Okay, so I'm going to get all these chicken thighs in my pan, but I've got to remove the skin since I've already started doing that. And you know what? I'll be right back. Okay, here's all my chicken thighs in the pan, and I've taken the skin off of every one, but I have left some of the fat on there, and I have left the bone because the bone is going to add lots of flavor. So I'm just browning them, and as soon as they're brown to my liking, I will turn them around like so. But some of these got on here a little bit after, so I'm just going to wait a little bit and then turn those other pieces. Then I'm going to cover this and let this cook for about 8 to 10 minutes because I want that chicken to get well done. I want it to get cooked really well. I am going to be adding some chicken broth into it to make sure that it does not brown and that I always have some steam on there. So I've got some chicken broth, some unsalted or low sodium chicken broth. Actually, it's low sodium, not unsalted. And that I will be pouring in here a little bit at a time. And then I'll cover it and let that steam and help that cook. So about 10 minutes and we'll check on it. All right, so when my chicken is cooking, got it covered and it's now cooking. I'm going to go ahead and cut up my squash. I've gone ahead and I've cut off the ends, and then I'm going to cut them in half. And then from there I'm going to cut them in strips. So julienne them like so. Don't cut them too thick. This type of squash cooks really fast. It's very watery and it cooks really fast, but you still don't want like big, huge pieces. So I'm going to cut them into thin strips, like so. And then I'm going to cut them into little cubes. I'm going to try to get them all the same size. Like that, okay? Set that aside. I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of these squash so that I can have a bowl full of chopped Tatuma squash. All right, I'm going to slice up my tomatoes and then chop them up. So I'm going to do the same thing, just cutting off these little nubby ends, this little part. You don't have to. You don't have to do anything that you don't want. I think that's sort of my theme. You don't have to. Okay, here we go. Chop them up lengthwise first. So you have these bits. And then I'm going to chop them up into little bits. Make sure your knife is nice and sharp. Mine isn't. Look, there we go. Those little bits I'm wanting. About that size. That's good. Chop up all of it. And I'm going to check on my chicken. It's been about 4 minutes. And I'm going to turn them around again. Make sure that big part of that meat gets cooked. I have them now on bone side down. I started them off with, you know, the meat side, or what would have been the skin side down. Then I decided to remove the skin. Why not, right? Get another piece to cut. I thought it was already going to be done. It would help if I had a sharper knife, or if I had sharpened this one before I got started. Usually my husband does that for me. I guess I relied too much on him doing it. But I'm getting through this. Okay, there we go. All the tomatoes chopped up. We're going to chop up these garlic, and then chop up some onions. And I'm going to check on the chicken. Be right back. All right, here's the chicken, and it's been cooking for about 4 minutes on the bone side. So I'm going to go ahead and turn them around once again, and just keep doing that till the meat is fully cooked. But I got to put it on the meat side down now. Turn them all around. Okay. Cover them once again, 4 minutes, and then we're going to turn them around once more. All right, it's been another 4 minutes. So, what is that? 16 minutes? I don't know, I lost track, maybe 12, 15 minutes. My chicken is cooked, and I'm just kind of scraping the little bits on the bottom. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and add my tomatoes and my garlic. There we go. Scrape that part in the bottom. When I add some chicken broth to this, or water, that'll come up. If you don't like that, just pull it out. But that's all flavor at the bottom of the pan. But if you feel like, oh, it looks too burnt, pull it out. No big deal. There we go. Okay, the tomatoes are cooking, and I'm going to squish them up a little bit to get the juice from the tomatoes out. Just smush them a little bit. Yeah. It smells so good. I can't say that enough. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the next thing we want to add to this is our calabaza, or squash. There we go. Got some little pieces in here. And we're going to season this with the caldo de tomate, or the tomato bouillon. And I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons of this. I might add more, but I'm going to add 2 teaspoons for now. And then just work it into it like that. All right. Okay. I'm going to turn my chicken over because some of that seasoning fell on it, and I want that to get into the rest of the food. I added 2 teaspoons of that chicken bouillon. I'm going to go ahead and add another one. There we go. That's also going to give it a really nice color. But I am adding some tomato sauce, so you don't have to worry too much about color. I don't know if you can hear me over the sound of the skillet. But I added another teaspoon of that tomato chicken bouillon to it. This looks beautiful. Now that it's been seasoned, I'm going to go ahead and add 2 cups of this chicken broth, or chicken caldo de pollo, which is a chicken broth. 1 more cup. Let me pour that out. And then pour that in. And then you just want to make sure that everything is kind of covered with the broth. If it's not enough, add some more. Sorry about the camera. So let me check this out, because normally I do it in a smaller skillet, and I'm using this huge skillet so everything gets spread out. I think I'm going to add another cup. I think I still have enough to add 1 more cup, maybe even more after that. It's okay, so 3 cups into this one because of the size of the skillet. And I want to make sure that all the calabaza is in the water. Okay, so now I'm going to cover this and allow this to cook for about 7 minutes, and I will check it and make sure the calabaza is now tender, and then it'll be ready. And we'll be back. But before that, I don't want to forget my tomato sauce. Oh boy, stir that in, then cover it up, and we'll be back. All right, so 10-12 minutes later, here is our pollo con calabaza. It is done. The calabacita is tender, and it's not too tender that it's mushy. It's perfect. Look at that. I wish you could smell it. It smells delicious. The calabaza almost looks like sliced avocado in there, like little bits of avocado. So we're going to serve this up. This is ready, and we are going to enjoy this. This will serve either 6 people or 3 if you're each going to serve yourself 2 pieces of chicken. But as you can see, that looks so good. You can serve this with a side of beans, maybe even some rice if you want. Looks delicious. Let's try it out. Delicious calabacita and a piece of some chicken. Look at that. That looks so good. So yummy. I wish you could smell it. Let's taste it. Cut into that. Get some of that chicken. Some calabacita on there as well. A little tomato. The calabaza is so tender, it keeps falling off the fork. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It is so good. I hope you enjoyed this recipe and that you will try it. Please tell me at the bottom, the comments, what you thought of the recipe. If you have your own chicken and calabaza or chicken and squash recipe, I'd like to know. If you have a link, I'll certainly go look at it. I love to share recipes, so I hope you will share yours and that you will then share mine as well. Please give me a big old thumbs up, subscribe, and as always, enjoy.